I will not die today. Violent Soaring Gale's mantra in Fourth Wing. And boy, what a mantra it is. Fourth Wing, for those who do not know, is a romantasy book by Rebecca Yarros that I highly recommend. If I had to describe it just in one sentence, it's as if you took Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, mashed them together, they had a baby, you'd get Fourth Wing. This book should be read by many people, but particularly, and this is where I'm going to go into and why I'm kind of making this video today, is I want to be the voice for the general male audience because I don't believe these books are typically marketed for such, but guys, we should be reading these. I just want to say that out now. This is one of my favorite books. My sister is the one who got me in this, told me, I gotta read it, I gotta read it, I gotta read it. I was like, yeah, not really sure. Gave it a chance. Oh my gosh. So good, so glad I listened to her. So I'm gonna be the voice to you guys out there. Give it my review, and hopefully win some people over to check this book out. In this review, I will be going over what this book does well. I'll be going over any major moments that I found epic, as well as standout characters that are above the common characters within this book. And then finally giving my final rating on it. And don't worry, I will give a spoiler warning when I get to those sections. I'll make it very clear, so feel free to tag along and listen to it as we go. Grab your friends, your enemies, and your lovers. Let's fly into Fourth Wing. To start off, what does this book do well? And there's quite a few things, but I'm going to kind of summarize the main points that I think this book does exceptionally well. First off, it has a very good starting pace. Problems I have with a lot of books, especially the first in the series, is they can be fairly slow. One in particular that I will get to at some point kind of comes to mind. But we're not talking about that book right now. What we're talking about is Fourth Wing, and it has very good pacing. It kicks off pretty quick, just with a very general intro, gets you to know the main character, gets you to know the setting, and then it kicks off pretty intense right out the get-go. I won't say anything, but just know it has a pretty good pacing to keep you interested, to keep the story moving forward, and to always keep you on your toes. So that's something I commend this book a lot for. The next one that I would say this book does super well is the world building. The world building is really well done in terms of just, because it's the first book, it's going to have to explain a lot, but it does it in a very clever way, which I'll get to and explain later to not avoid spoilers, but it does it in a very natural way that I enjoyed, that gives us exposition without it feeling like exposition. And boy, from the setting of Basgiath to the world realms, the war that is going on, to the dragons and their biology and how they interact with people is very fascinating. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone right now, at least, but it is so well done. I love the world building in this. You just want to eat up more and more and more of it, and it gives you just enough and leaves just enough to have you guessing on some things, to want you to know more, but doesn't keep you fully in the dark, which I appreciate. Other thing this book does phenomenally well is relatable, flawed characters. I cannot stress enough how much that many books, I feel like they just have too perfect characters. They're too nice, they're too kind, they're just good at everything. A Mary Sue, if you will. And I can't stand that, because we're not like that. We suck as people. And therefore, you know, people in books should suck as well. And that's why I like, not saying all these characters stink, they don't. They are still cool, have epic moments, are really good at things, but they are flawed and they're way more relatable. They don't seem like they're so against the mold of, I've never met a person like that. You believe these characters could exist if we lived in a fantasy world like that. And I appreciate that so much. What this book also does really well, that I personally love probably the most, is it sets up stuff for future events both within this book and other books very well. And I'm not going to give any of those for spoilers' sake, but it does a really good job of using the Chekhov's gun in terms of if it brings up something that seems unimportant, it's not. It most likely has some tie into a later event or something that will happen that'll be relevant. And I love that. Another thing this book does exceptionally well is that the in it, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, do I censor smoke? I'm not sure. We might censor smoke. If we do, that's funny. If we don't, it's also just kind of funny. But the in this is perfect because it's not too much. I know a lot of the guys out here are like, I don't want to read this stuff. I'm not here for 50 Shades of Grey. It's not. It's there. It is present. So those who like, don't worry. There's some good spicy scenes, okay? I still will say, do be careful if you're do what I do and listen to audiobooks. Maybe don't have this on speaker all the time because they're good. They're not all the time, but when they're there. Last thing I will say this book does really well is it has some really cool epic fights. I love the epic encounters in this, and they range from more one-on-one to larger scale fights, and they do them very well. You feel the stakes, you feel the adrenaline, you get worried about outcomes of these battles, and I love it. I did not expect to love so many fight scenes within this, but man, makes me excited for when the series comes out, because they better do these fight scenes some justice. But now, I'm going to get to spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers for this book, which I highly recommend if you have not read this book, please do not continue past this part. I'm putting the spoiler warning right now, right wherever this is. Boom, big spoiler warning. Please, do not continue. Go read the book, come back. You can read my view. After I'm done with spoilers, I will let everyone know, hey, spoilers are done, so that you can fast forward. And I'll maybe put in this corner here, spoilers in effect for here on out. Spoilers. You gone? Liam dies. Standout characters. Characters that I think really stand out in this book. And why they stand out? I mean, let's just go over the main characters. Obviously, the main characters have to stand out in this book, because if they wouldn't, the book would flop and not be good. So, Violet and Xaden are two main leads. What I love about these characters is, yet again, they're very relatable. I love that Violet is not a Mary Sue. She's honestly quite bad at a lot of things to start. She's really good at a lot of things as well. She's very smart, intelligent, and I love that. But I like that her characteristic trait is that, well, she's fragile. And it's not to her fault. It's just how she is born. She's easily breakable. And it makes you worry the whole time you are reading this book, because it's just, oh my gosh. Her mantra might be, I will not die today. But if she had a song to like represent herself, it would be,
I hurt myself today.
She's pretty fragile. A trait that I love that she has that adds to the world building is because she was trained originally to be a scribe instead of going into the rider's quadrant and, riding dragons and going to war and all that dangerous crap. She, to calm herself down, recites history, which is such a nerdy trait that I love. And it gives exposition, and it makes sense for her, and then helps us, because she's in a lot, and I mean a lot, of stressful situations. So she has to do it quite a bit. So I love that about her. It's great. She's a great female, strong character, and doesn't give off that Mary Sue vibe, which I love. Next is her love interest, Xaden. Ah, dude, good old Shadow Daddy. I mean, we all look. I'm a guy. I may not be into guys, but oh man, Shadow Daddy is Shadow Daddy for a reason. He's just badass. I love him. He's cool. He's edgy. Who doesn't love edgy people? In this way, he's the perfect amount of edge. And I'm kind of an edgelord, so we love Xaden. We love Xaden. We all know we love Xaden. I love his powers of controlling the shadows, and how they describe it is so well done, and I cannot wait for the show to come out so we can visually see how these work. They better do a good job, because they could screw it up and make it look pretty lame and meh. where they could make these shadows look so cool and epic. So I'm really excited for that. But on to my personal favorite, and I'm probably sure a lot of people's favorite, is good old Tairn. God, I love Tairn. He's just the big old black grumpy dragon, and we love that. He's one of the few black dragons in the book. Coda being one of the only ones. And man, does it just make it so epic and feel so powerful knowing that, and the fact that she gets him just as epic. And I love how he is just a grumpy old man. He gives me Clint Eastwood vibes as well as like Wolverine vibes.
One more word. Please give me one.
Gubernatorial.
I just love his no-nonsense attitude, but he's got a good caring heart. He does love Violet. He does care. But man, is he just kind of cool and grumpy. Sigale, his mate, Xaden's dragon. God, she's cool too. She's kind of a bitch, with a capital B, but oh boy, you love her for it. She always looked cool. I always imagined her looking like the classic D&D blue dragon. Just, it gives off a bit of arrogantness and just scariness, and I just love that, and that's how I imagine Sigale, because she seems like she'd be very terrifying. I love that. Undarna, she's alright. I will say, I do like her. I don't think she stands out as much as, like, Tairn and Sigale does. She's very cool and very relevant to the plot, and I will say in future books, I think she gets even better, but just for this book, she's alright. She's cool. She's not a bad character. Just doesn't stand out compared to the other dragons. Liam. Liam is the best side character in this book. We love him. He is so sincere, so kind, so bad, loyal. Liam is just amazing. You love him. I love that he wood carves figures. It's such a cute little trait, and that he gives people. Gosh, we should have seen that coming. He gives a memento to people, and it's just going to make things sad. So, yeah, again, foreshadowing type stuff. She does it really well. And Liam's death sucks. It just sucks. I know Rebecca has said in interviews and whatnot, why'd she kill Liam? She's like, well, he doesn't have an arc. He's just too perfect of a character. He doesn't have an arc, so, you gotta get rid of him. And I'm like, yes, but also no. There are more perfect characters. You didn't need to kill him. We could have kept him. But it also does make it really good and such a sad moment within the book and gives it such good weight. And it makes you worry because, you're like, oh my God, they're going to kill people. They are going to kill people. People are not going to make it out of this series alive. And that sucks. But man, we love Liam. The antagonists are well written in this book as well. Particularly Jack Barlow. Oh my God. What a dick. We don't like Jack. But that's a good thing we don't like Jack. From the right out the get-go, man tries to kill her. Oh boy. And he is just awful. He's just awful in all the right ways. And he's a perfect person for her to one-up and beat each time, whether it's on the mat in single combat or eventually when she discovers her signet and everything like that. He's just a good villain that he sucks. But he sucks in all the right ways. Such a good villain. They just gets under your skin. I love it. But you hate him. Goddamn Jack Barlow. And as for the last standout character, this might sound controversial to people who read this, but Dain. I like Dain. Okay? I like Dain. Yeah, shoot me if you want. Come attack me. Whatever. I like Dain. He's not a bad character. He does some really dumb things that irritate me, and I'm not a big fan of that, yes. But Dain himself as a character is really well done. He is flawed. And I like him from the get-go, gives good backstory. He is a solid character. I like him. Yes, he does some really dumb, idiotic things. I don't like him in terms of what he does to Violet right after threshing and kissing her and causing more confusion and saying that he wouldn't break the rules for her. It's not great. I don't like him there, but I like him I like not liking him, if that makes sense. You don't have to love characters for them to be good characters, if that makes any sort of sense, which it might not. The best way to put it is, I like Dane. I don't like Dane to be with Violet. They are not meant to be a couple, but Dane as a character is not awful. Alright, so, standout moments within this book. Just start off, Parapet. What a great first epic, like, tense scene to start off with. Them having to walk this narrow path and try not to fall off. Such a good moment that really makes you on edge of, this is just them getting into the college. That's just getting your foot in the door. That's not even the start of the semester. Man, that sucks. And I gotta say, I predicted this, but it cracks me up when they're climbing up the stairs, waiting for people to go across, and that one guy, who I don't even remember his name, because who cares, but he's like, oh boy, I can't wait to go home to my wife, who I just proposed to. You know, I can't wait to start my life. I got a family to go back to. Immediately falls off. Yeah, should have kept your mouth shut, dude. That sucks. But man, did it really set the stage of like, oh no. Not only that, the fact that she doesn't get an easy parapet, it's raining and storming. Like, I always thought, I could cross this thing easy myself. Why, you know, it's just a little path, you just walk across it. But honestly, with my balance, I'd probably get blown off and die. It's the truth, but, you know, maybe I'd just army crawl across it, and that would just suck. But can't even do that, because goddamn Jack Barlow, his first major appearance, even though you meet him on the stairs, what does he do? He throws the kid off behind Violet, and he goes to try and murder her and throw her off. Oh boy. If you weren't having your heart pumping during the scene before that, no, you definitely were once he was like, I'm coming for you. Violet poisoning all of her opponents for challenges. I love that because it's just adding to her strength. She knows she physically cannot fight people, you know, and that's a struggle for her. However, she uses her brain where she's smart. And she goes through all this techniques of learning who her opponent will be, poisoning them so that they just affects them during the match. Not before the match, just right during the match, it'll kick in, and I love it. It takes a lot of timing, skill. It's really cool. And it doesn't always go according to plan, which is fun, and I like it. It spices things up. It makes things really fun. Another standout moment for me is presentation day for the dragons, when they walk all the cadets to the dragons that just line up that are going to bond with them possibly at Threshing this year. And they just have to walk in a row and just kind of small talk or whatever and just walk along until they're done. But the issue is that there's just big, giant dragons watching you. And boy, does that scene just set how scary these things can be and how they know they are in control and they are the top dogs. They straight up just crispify people. Man, just turn them into bacon. It's just, don't like them. They're being a little rude. They're not being sure of themselves. Done. Next would be Threshing. Threshing is just so great. It's kind of what is the first big climax of the book, or at least the first half, is leading to Threshing when you're supposed to bond a dragon. And we're not sure if Violet's going to bond one. It's all this stuff, and Jack's out there. God damn Jack Barlow, of course, going to kill Ondarna, which we don't know her name at this point, which was the gold dragon within the lineup. And when I first read the book, I was like, oh, obviously she's going to get the gold one. It's small, tiny, it fits her, it's unique, it's the only feather tail. It just made sense to me. I was like, she's going to get Ondarna, she's going to get the gold dragon, just makes sense. And, of course, Jack Barlow goes out and tries to kill this dragon because it's different. Don't like him. But he goes to kill him, and she stops him. And I was like, oh, of course, this is when she's going to bond and all that stuff. Problems arise, and to my shock, I literally was a jaw-dropping moment, because I did not expect this, even though they had set up a little bit, but I just didn't expect this. Tairn shows up. The only other black dragon that we really know just shows up. Just out of nowhere, epically, and he chooses Violet. I was so shocked. I was just like, what is going on? I am pumped, and that's awesome. She's getting the strongest dragon. Like, oh, loved it. And then it's just funny because her flight, her constantly falling off and Taran having to catch her, is hilarious because it shows his soft side. But man, I got so pumped. And then let alone when she's reading, or they're filling in the dragon's name and they're signing who bonded them, that she gets Andarna as well. And so it's two. That's 4. 2 dragons. 2. Freaking awesome. Violet getting her signet. Oh, so good. Liam almost dies, but just not quite yet. Almost dead, but not dead. Later. She saves Liam, gets really pissed at, of course, because who almost kills Liam? Who other than Jack Barlow? But she needs to get her revenge. Jack needs to kick that damn bucket for sure. And, you know, she might explode because she hasn't formed her signet yet. And I was like, oh my god, she might just explode and somehow live. But man, when she releases it finally and we learn that she can wield lightning, oh, such a great moment. So awesome. Jack goes down. Yeah! Screw you, Jack. Stay down there. The setup to the climax of the book, the final climax, which ends everything. Oh my gosh. The setup to the Venom being real and showing up at the end and having this epic confrontation is amazing. Gosh, I love it so much. And I knew, which isn't a bad thing that I knew. I love that I knew. It really made me eager to get to this point. But as soon as they're like, oh yeah, we used to read these stories and my dad used to read them to us and it's all about the Venom, the boogeymen who steal magic and all this stuff. And it was like, yeah, they're going to be real. I was like, those things are going to be real. The Wyvern and Venom and the boogeyman, I was like, they may not be exactly like the stories, but like, yeah, they exist. I was all aliens in it up, but I knew it and I was right. And I was right. Wyvern shows up and I was just like, I knew it! I knew it! Holy cow! You guys are screwed. That's not good. I'm really happy, but I'm also really worried. With that, I'll end spoilers here. Spoilers are done. So if you see the things gone, from here on out, there will be no more spoilers. Thank you for those who listened through that, and welcome back to those who skipped ahead to just join in with me now. So, now I will give my final rating for Fourth Wing. Very good book. Very good book. I'd have to say for this one, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. I only give it an 8 and not further because this is the first book in the series. It is still setting up a lot of stuff, and therefore it still has some of the slower pace, even though it's a lot better pace than most first books in the series. It's still setting stuff up. It's still building to things. And so at times it may not be as energetic as you might want it to be, but overall it's still really solid. At this point, it's kind of nitpicking on things to get it beyond a 9, or I don't believe there's too many books that reach a 10. Last thing, for the guys out there who have not read this, because I'm going to represent you and be your diplomat in this sense. I'm going to be your bridge into this world. Please listen to me. Go read this book. I know it's a romantasy. I know it's typically not marketed towards you guys. But give it a chance. You will like it. It is epic. It is cool. You will enjoy it. Trust me. Read this, guys. You will enjoy it. And not only that, just saying out there, you know, you're looking to date. You want to impress someone on your date? Oh boy. Bring up Xaden Ryerson. Bring up Taran and Violet Sorrengail. Talk about this book. You will get some heads turning and they will be listening to you. And if you're in a relationship, you want to bond with your partner really well, read this book. If you guys haven't read it, both of you, read it together. You will love it. It's so fun to discuss what you like, they like, theories. It's so entertaining. If you enjoyed this, I'm Oxymoron. Please give me a like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you think I gave the book a fair rating? Please tell me your favorite moments and characters from here. There's so much I could not discuss, and this video might be too long already. But there's so much I did not get to discuss that I like about this book and series. So please, go in the comments. Let me know if you want more of what things you would like to see me discuss and talk about, whether on videos or stream. There will be more coming out, both from this series and another. Without further ado, I'll catch you all later. Goodbye. While I got you on recording, anything you want to add, and I can maybe fit this in to my Fourth Wing review as the one who introduced me to it?
Like my personal opinion of Fourth Wing?
Or just something to say, or anything. It'd be either
Oh, well, I think
funny.
it's wonderful. I'm literally, this is the third time I'm reading it, so.
Ah.
It will start a trend that you'll never want to leave. It'll definitely create a feeling of a cult that you're happy to be in.
I can't put that we're all just part of a cult now.
Well, I mean, they basically are. And if somebody says something bad about, like, any of the characters, you will defend them.
You hear that? You're part of a cult now.